Sup kiddos, IzzyGrae, aka TheGraeman, and welcome back to another episode of Graewatch. As you know by now, I have a number of Overwatch heroes in various states of completion that I'd love to share with the world, and here is the next one. Today I'd like to introduce to you the newest discovery from the lunar colony, Experiment T-099, also known as Tugg. Since I started playing Overwatch almost 2 years ago at this point it's been, I've always wondered what other animals may have lived on the lunar colony up on the moon. Apes and a hamster can't be the only thing they're rocking up there. There's so much bandwidth and space between those two species that I was convinced that there were other animals that must have lived there. So I thought to myself, we need another animal fighting for the good guys. A couple quick thank yous and shout outs. First and foremost, thank you to Chris and Maria over at Hybrid Art for the amazing artwork you guys see in these videos. I'm creeping up towards working with them for almost 2 years at this point. Also, quick thank you and shout out go to my girlfriend Anna, also known as MySkyIsRed, over on YouTube and Twitch. She does a lot of gaming stuff. She also is one of the chief editors on this channel and is responsible for any video you guys see coming out on Wednesdays. She also happens to be a phenomenal girlfriend. Thank you very much, my dear. I love you very much. Also, quick thank you and shout out yet again go out to BTC BlametheController on YouTube for inspiring me to continue to pursue the dreams that I have as far as making Overwatch hero concepts. Now, without further ado, let's meet Tugg. The Horizon lunar colony was intended to serve as a launching point for humanity's next step in space exploration. In an effort to study the effects of long-term living in space, the station housed a number of genetically enhanced primates, such as gorillas and chimpanzees, along with other animals. Winston and Hammond were a part of this group. The whole colony was funded and managed by Liu Chang Interstellar. There were, however, other experiments that were more sinister than others. Dr. John Grimson was responsible for most of the lunar colony's bad reputation. Experimentation to him was a means to an end, and getting results meant more to him than the humanity shown to his test subjects. One of his projects was extending the lifespan of a human being. Experiment T-000 was an attempt to unlock the so-called power of long life. As one of the longest living animals on the planet, a Galapagos tortoise was acquired after many failed attempts and many animals were maimed or killed. Dr. Grimson's assistant, Julia Moore, was kind to Tugg, as she named him soon after his arrival, and befriended him in secret. Unfortunately, the experimentation to unlock Tugg's long lifespan caused him to grow and become bipedal, increasing his strength and resilience tenfold. Grimson saw the opportunity for a giant enforcer and took Tugg on to train him in the art of protecting only him. He failed, due to Tugg's oversized heart and compassion for the world around him. Tugg was seen as a failed experiment and was sent to an ejection pod to be launched into deep space to die. It would have worked if the apes of the lunar colony hadn't revolted the very same day. Moore hustled Tugg onto an escape pod and changed his trajectory to Earth. They both escaped, and due to Tugg's resilience, they survived the impact. Unfortunately, Moore was knocked unconscious and was now in a coma. Tugg placed her in the entrance to a local hospital so the professionals could take care of her. Not knowing where to go, Tugg returned home. The Galapagos Islands were quiet, and for some strange reason, the locals didn't seem to be bothered by an 8-foot-tall, 600-plus-pound tortoise roaming free. Everything was pretty peaceful until Grimson returned to reclaim his experiment. For the first time in his very long life, Tugg fought back, and won by a landslide. The fight, however, resulted in a decently sized fire that had spread to some nearby houses. Tugg immediately jumped into action, saving those trapped in a burning building and helping the fire squad put out the fire. From that day forth, he was seen as a guardian of the islands and was put on duty as a one-tortoise fire truck. That was until the day Overwatch came calling. Tugg is an entry-level tank with an easy kit to work with. I wanted another Roadhog in the tank class with a bit more of a protection aspect to their kit. He is the largest and slowest hero to ever Grace/galumph his way into the franchise. Tugg's primary fire is the Typhoon Cannon. Type is a beam, range is 20 meters, damage is 65 per second with a 20 ammo rate of fire and a 200 ammo clip. So you get 10 seconds of firing and 1.5 seconds of reload time. The beam's width is 0.3, making it double the width of Zarya's beam with her cannon. Wanted to be comparable, but again, seeing that his speed is kind of reduced, being the slowest character to ever be a part of this franchise, I wanted to give his beam a bit wider range. So even though it takes him a while to show up to the party, once he gets there, it's very, very hard to miss with this guy. There is a secondary fire the Typhoon possesses as well. Type is a horizontal cone, range is reduced to 15 meters, damage is reduced to 30, and the ammo usage is increased to 25. The beam is upgraded to a 60-degree spread, so multiple enemies can be hit at once. I designed this to give Tugg a bit of versatility in his weapon. Tugg's first ability is Grappling Charge. Grappling Charge sees you ejecting the grappling hook attached to your Typhoon cannon. This allows you to move quickly in or out of a situation. Type is a melee/buff hybrid. Damage, if hit with the grappling hook or Tugg as he moves by, is 75 with a knockback of 3 meters if Tugg hits you. Range/distance traveled is 30 meters unless you hit an obstacle like a wall. Being the slowest moving character, I wanted Tugg to have some way to move forwards quickly and catch up with the team or get out of a situation if need be. Tugg's second ability is Shell Shield. This sees Tugg turning his back to the enemy and forming a shield of hard light that expands outward from his shell. Type is a barrier shield, health is 2000 even, regeneration time is 100 health per 1 second, so 20 seconds of non-fire to recharge the shield from 0 back all the way up to 2000. There is a speed penalty due to the fact that Tugg is now in essence moving backwards as well. Tugg's barrier is about the same size as Reinhardt's, however it is an oblong oval as opposed to Reinhardt's rectangle. As for a passive ability, I thought it would be cool for a passive that all fire taken from behind is halved because Tugg's actual shell is always on duty to keep his back protected. Enter Rear Guard. It also means that as long as you are standing in front of Tugg, if he's taking fire from behind, you will be blocked completely. And finally, the ultimate. Tidal Surge sees Tugg creating an enormous hurricane-themed tidal wave with Tugg as the eye of the storm. Basically, Tugg causes the tank of water on his back to come under immense pressure and finally overflow. He tucks his limbs and head inside his shell and spins at a high velocity, causing the Tidal Surge. Type is an AoE, the damage is 100 per second, the area of effect is 20 meters in diameter. There is a pushback that can push enemies out of danger, or it can pin them up against a wall or something, in which case they suffer even more damage because they are now unable to move. And yet again, I felt I owed you guys a player's layout just to see what you'll be able to see from Tugg's perspective if you ever decide to play as Tugg. Well, that is it for this episode of Graewatch. Thank you so much to Chris and Maria over at Hybrid Art for another amazing piece of artwork. Thanks again go to MySkyIsRed, who you can find on YouTube and Twitch, and watch her play video games. She's an absolute joy to watch, or a pain in the ass to play against, depending on who you ask. Thanks again go to BlametheController for continually giving me the inspiration that I need to continue to make these kinds of videos. Feel free to come and join me on Overwatch, TheGraeman. I play regularly, and in this current climate, God knows what else we're going to do anyways. Feel free to follow me on all forms of social media. Support me on Patreon on the $5 tier to get more Graewatch-oriented content. And until next time, you kids know the drill. Be good, and if you can't be good, be safe. And if you can't be safe, make sure that after all the dust is clear that they've named something after you. Until next time, kiddos. Bye!